Hello guys and welcome. I'm Untitled Java and this is learning Java game programming. Hello there guys. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit about the Java basics and then setting up your IDE for Eclipse or IntelliJ or anything like that. I will link them in the description so that way you can pick and choose which one you want, and they all work the same. There is a little bit of a difference for each one, but it's basically exactly the same. So we'll go ahead and get started here. So to start, click your browser that you use, and then we'll go to Eclipse. Okay, and then just go ahead and go to Google, then search Eclipse. Okay, so here you see the Eclipse download IDE tools. So you just want to go ahead, go to eclipse.org. That's what it is. Okay, here you can hit download, and then you could do 64-bit or you can go to download packages, and then you have like 32-bit, Mac, Linux. It's basically whatever you need, and these I'm pretty sure ain't much of a difference besides like your C, C++, but today we're just going to be doing Java, so that you don't have to worry about. So just go ahead, you can click whatever system bit that you're running, and to find that on Windows 10 you can go here and then just right click and then go to system, and then you'll be able to see right here, so system type 64-bit, and then that will tell you what you need to download. So once you got that downloaded, you'll be able to install it. It's pretty self-explanatory, and then you can open your Eclipse, and once it opens, I'll show you. Okay, so right here, I like to I like to keep it at the workspace, and then you could do like your documents or whatever. So if you want to change it, instead of putting it in the Eclipse workspace, you can just go to documents, and then you could just put it in here for whatever folder you want it to go to, but I'm gonna keep mine here. And then if I'm gonna name my project, I'll either just leave it at Eclipse workspace, or I'll do another dash and then I'll just type the name at which, so like let's say YouTube tutorial, and then you just hit enter, and then Eclipse will launch. And then I'm going to show you how to set it up, your packages, your classes, and things like that. Okay, so you can just exit out of certain things like the task list, the outline. You don't have to worry about any of that. Your console should pop up down here once you first run it. So another good thing to know is you can go to Window, Preferences, and then you go to General and Appearance, and then you go to the color and the font theme, and you can either pick one of these, or you can even do the theme itself, and you can turn it like dark if you want. So you can apply that and it'll turn it dark like so, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it on light. That's just like what I like. And then also you can go to color and fonts from appearance, which is in the same exact one, kind of like this. So you just go to color and fonts, and then you go down to Java, and then if you find Java editor text font, you can double click that, and then you could change like the way that the text looks. You can change if it's bold, and then you can also change like the font size. So for you guys to be able to see, I'm going to go ahead and put it at 14 so it makes it bigger. Apply and close that, Alright, now we're going to go ahead. We're going to start with the packaging and the classes and making a new folder, things like that. So hit right click, new, Java project, and then you can go ahead and then you type in your name, or if you already have a project you can browse for it and you can search for it. So like I'll say, if you saved it in documents for instance, you can go here and then it'd be like somewhere in here. So but we're just going to go ahead and create a new project, so I'll just say YouTube tutorial. We'll hit finish, and then here you have your source folder. Right click that, and this is where everything goes. So you hit new, okay, and then you will create a package. This is so that you can organize everything. I just normally do com, and then I'll say tutorial, and then we'll just go ahead and leave it at that for now. You can name this whatever you'd like, so you can name it your name or the name of the game, it doesn't matter. It's just sort of like an organization. So like this would be our main package, and then you want to right click your package, hit new, class, okay, and then for your class, this would be like the main part of your class. So you'll go ahead, you can name it whatever you'd like for like if you're making a window class, or if you're making we'll see, let's say it's just if you want to make an animal class for different pets, or you know, things of that nature. So but for this we're going to name it launcher, because it's going to be like our main game launcher class. And then as you see, it automatically creates this, okay, automatically creates your class. So then we'll go down here, just hit enter a couple times. Okay, so every single class needs this. It's called a main. So public void main string, oh I'm sorry, hang on, public static void main parentheses string, and then you'll put these little brackets, and then you type in args for arguments, and then you put your parentheses, or your curly braces, I'm sorry, and then this is like your main startup. So without this, nothing's gonna run, okay, not a single thing is gonna run, because it don't know where to grab the main class from, which this is what we're making, is your main class. Okay, so what I like to do normally is I'll type in new, and then we'll go back to the class here, launcher, because that's the class that we want to launch. So launcher, and then you want to put your curly braces, or your parentheses again, and then a comma, okay. So at that point, now it'll be able to be launched at any point. So if we want it to, we can right click, hit run as Java application, and then as you see, it's going to save, hit OK, and then technically it'd be launched right now, but we're not running anything. So do public launcher, just like that, and then we'll be basically just calling this class, and then whatever we put in here will happen here. So a really simple thing. So system dot out dot print line, oh hang on, there we go, okay. Now you just put string in there, and then we'll say hello Java. Alright, so now you can come up here. You can either save it like this, or you can hit save all. If you have multiple different classes, you want to save every one of them at the same time. And then now you can right click, hit run as Java application, and as you see right here in the console that popped up, says hello Java, and it's no longer running because it automatically stops because you're not doing a continue run, so it just stops right there. Now let me explain something to you. This right here, all of these, okay, is okay. So for your public, this means it could be accessed by any class, okay? So if you have all of these, I believe, in the same package, you can access that specific thing from any class, okay? Now your static is pretty much exactly the same thing, okay? That's going to be able to allow you to use it in multiple different classes, and I believe the static, you can get it from different packages as well, as long as it's imported, and then you'll be fine. And then void just means it returns nothing, and then main, that's just the name of what this is. String, that's just a string of, you know, words. So you can do public string, and it's going to take these quotations every single time, and then you would want to do so public string, we gotta name this, so we'll just say LOL, okay, and then I don't know what's up with that, we'll just go ahead and name it we'll just say start. Okay, so yeah, you always gotta put these whenever you're doing a string, and then you just type whatever you want on here, and then that's gonna, this start is gonna carry over whatever's in here. So you say system.out.println, so instead of putting these again, you would just type in start, because you're referring back to this, which takes in this. So then once you hit up here, you can do this and then hit launcher, or you can just hit run as Java application again, and then see whatever you just typed up here will show up down here. So you could make an easy change every single time. So if you just sort in these so-called what you would call a variable, it'll be like just 10 times easier. You can just change one thing, change everything. So if you have multiple, strings that say start that you're using for something, then you just gotta change the name in that, and you change all of them at one time. So it's very useful. Okay, so now private, and these are all Java types is what they're called. So private would be like, it can't necessarily be accessed by any class, but there's actually a way to get around that. A lot of people say that you can't access them at all, but you really can. So I'll show you. We'll say private int, which is int, it takes in a whole number, only whole numbers, that's it. So that's equal to, so private int, you gotta name it, so we'll say dogs, okay? So the number of dogs that we want to put, so let's just say 3, for instance, okay? Technically, if we made another class, so we'll say dog count, we can't go and access this. Okay, so we'll say this is how you're going to what do you want to call it? You're basically inheriting that class in order to use it. So if we did launcher and then launch equals new launcher, you're initiating the launch class so that way you can use it, because if you don't do this, it'll throw an exception error, and that just means that you haven't initialized it yet or anything like that. So we'll say public dog count as we did with the launcher class, and then we'll say like launch dot see, you can't see the dogs right here. You can't see it. So whenever you do launch dot, you're not able to see that. You can see the main string args, which is this right here, but you can't see the dogs. Reason being is because it's private, as I said. So now if you make it public, and you do this, see, you can see it now, dogs. So you can use that. Okay, same thing with this. So if you had at private, there's a way to get around this, and it's a lot easier. So you do launcher source, and then make sure you're on that class that you want to do this for. So like I said, right click it, source, and then it'll say generate getters and setters, and then you click on dogs right there, hit generate, and it'll automatically put these up there for you. Okay, so this gets the dogs, and you can set the number of dogs, so you can change this number if you want to. So now we can do launch, which you're calling the launcher class, then you do dot, and then now you can do get dogs. So now you can get the number of dogs if you wanted to. So that's gonna say 3. Now if you wanted to just do launch dot set dogs, you can now set the dogs to 10. So that's a way that you can access that, but that's only if you need to. Now if you don't need to bring that specific thing that you're using out of this class at all, then you just leave it as private, and then you don't want to create any getters or setters for it at all if it's just for this specific class. So here's a couple more things. So you got private int. Now here's something that's called a long. A long variable is something that doesn't take in whole numbers or decimal points. It's mainly made for something that's used in the Java's library. So like system dot, you can do current time millis, which is like the current time, and then you can do system dot nanotime, which is, I believe, like the time that is like now, like the exact time right now. So that's gonna be for the system. And then let's see, you have double, private double. I mean, you don't have to put private, but you can do public, whatever you want to do. So this right here takes in numbers, so you got to put the points. So 0.0. I mean, you can make this any number, but it has to have a decimal in there. Always has to have that. Okay. And then you have floats, which are basically the exact same thing, and the only differences about this is you have to put an F at the end in order for it to know that it's a float. And then I think that's pretty much it for the main things for like private float, double, and longs. Those are like the types that are inside of Java. So I think we'll go ahead and leave off from there, and then I'll explain things a little better about how to use these. We'll actually make a couple classes and I'll be able to explain it to you a little more. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you for watching, and hit subscribe and like if you liked this video, if you found it to be useful, and just comment below if you think that anything could be changed, or if you think that I should explain things differently. So yeah, see you guys later.